What's up, y'all? Isaiah Olave here. Decided to do something different. Want to go through each game this year and kind of critique our DV play or our team's play. For you, those of you that don't know, I coach high school football at Mount Miguel High School in Spring Valley. Um, Head coached by Villain Batov, and this is my third year personally as the DB coach, cornerbacks coach specifically this year. Coach V's third year as a head coach in Spring Valley or at Mount Miguel High School. Um, and like I said, I just wanted to do something different, kind of critique and go through a couple of plays that stand out and kind of go through our weekly matchups. So jumping into our week one matchup, we had San Marcos High School. This was a top 10 ranked game. I can't remember the rankings as I'm recording this. We're currently in week three, but I think they were a spot or two ahead of us. I want to say 7 versus 9 or something of that nature. We came out with the W 28-27. Hard fought game as you would expect with a top 10 matchup. San Marcos is a great team. They were the Division One runner up last year. I think they lost in a championship game to Granite Hills, a team that's in our league who we also lost to. And we were in the Division One playoffs as well. We lost in the second round to El Camino, a team that San Marcos ended up beating, I think, to get to the championship, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but North County Power, well coached, super well coached, gave us a great game. For those of you that don't know, we have at Mount Miguel High School. We currently have 7 Division One commits. I want to say one O lineman committed, Sua. He's committed to Boise State. Frank Fanua committed to Cal as a D lineman. Driston Williams committed to NAU as a D lineman. Brandon Arrington, the number 1 athlete in the nation, committed to Texas A&M. Who am I missing? AJ Logan, wide receiver, committed to Boise State. Paris Vernon, wide receiver, committed to San Jose State. And then Malachi Jackson committed to Weber State as a defensive back. With all that being said, we are still a smaller school. We don't have the numbers that some of the teams may have. Where some of these teams are suiting up 70, 60, 70, 80 guys. We're suiting up maybe 30, 40 kids, 50 at the max. Small school just 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we're Division 4. Now we're up in Division 1, possible open division conversations. Still a long ways to go, but yeah. So first week we had San Marcos. We came out with the victory 28-27. Hard fall game, as I mentioned. Defense came away with 6 turnovers, I believe, 3 fumble recoveries, 3 interceptions, and still only squeaked out a 1-point dub. San Marcos had a chance to win it. They ended up scoring with about a minute left, and they opted to go for 2. And our defense ended up holding up. They tried to go to a little tight end throwback, kind of roll to the right, throw back to the tight end, coming flaring across the left, and our middle linebacker kind of walled it off and ran with him, and nothing ended up being open. The quarterback ended up throwing it away. We got the onside kick and closed out the victory. But got a couple plays we can go through that kind of stood out. As I mentioned, I coach cornerbacks, defensive backs. So obviously a couple plays, I'm going to mention my DBs and how we did a good job. But this play specifically is, I believe, the first touchdown of the game. One of the harder things for us to do is run the ball. We have a hard time running the ball. So a lot of teams play us with 3 down linemen, usually 4 eyes, which is 4 eyes usually hard to block because it occupies both the guard and the tackle. And then they usually drop 8 since we're a little bit of a pass-heavy team. We have a bunch of athletes that we like to get the ball to in space. So teams usually try to force us to run the ball. This play specifically, San Marcos is in a 3 down lineman, and they have eight guys off the ball. They're kind of running a cover three variation. I mean, if cover two Tampa, if you wanna call it, but it looks like a cover three. They set a safety in the middle of the field. He's kind of like the robber or the piper, but he just sits there guarding the middle of the field. And you have two other deep safeties, um, splitting outside the hash, rolling to cover two. But I mean, ideally it's a cover three, but like a cover two roll, and then they trap their corners, playing their corners hard in the flats. So anything coming out to the corners, the corners would just take it away. Um, so me being primarily in the booth, I try to help out with the offense and let Coach V, who's a offensive player caller, know what I see and what could possibly work. I kind of noticed this the first or second drive. I think it's the second drive, but they're coming out in this cover three, cover two, whatever you want to call it, look. So um, if you look at it, this bottom safety, he would roll outside the hash. This corner at the bottom would trap our number two or anything coming out. Same thing at the top. That corner is in a press. He's gonna trap, and then that safety is gonna play over the top, and then you got that middle safety. That's like the pull runner or just the cover three safety sitting right there in the middle of the field. So with this safety rolling outside towards the numbers, this number two receiver has ideally a free release since that corner is going to trap. So one's not going to get rerouted. Two's going to have a free release with that safety vacating. And then you have this number three guy playing almost hook to curl. So what I noticed from the booth is a play before this, they ran the same coverage. So I alerted our head coach or our OC who calls the plays. And I was like, hey, they're not rerouting our number two. The safety's gonna vacate, gonna roll to his half. Number two should have a easy, route right up the hash. If he just hits him in stride, it should be a touchdown. So our coach called the similar play, same play, because we had seen it the play before. And then our quarterback, just hit this guy in the money if you watch it. So Team Money, our freshman receiver, runs right up the hash, untouched. Wow, touchdown, splits the safeties. Touchdown. Let's see if we get the back view. So coach relays in the play. We relay it across the field. They run that cover three, that cover two trap. Boom, right down the hash. Touchdown. So that was our first touchdown of the game. And then let's see. Let's jump into some other plays defensively. So on the defensive end, like I mentioned before, we have a lot of athletes, so we try to stay as basic as possible. Run a lot of man coverage. Don't full screen. We run a lot of man coverage, so teams like to mesh us. They like to hit the back end of flats. They like to give us a bunch of different man beaters, motions, shifts, which we had to do a better job of adjusting to. But down here at the bottom is one of our corners, Gianni. He's a junior and he has a couple Division I offers. But I thought this was pretty textbook man coverage. 3rd and 8. Ideally, let me pause it real quick. Ideally, 3rd and 8, you might want to play the sticks, play off. We may or may not have a blitz called. Usually we're blitzing. We want to play off, play the sticks. The ball's going to come out high and just be able to drive down, tackle anything, force the force down, stop. But we have two long corners, Brandon being 6'3", Gianni being about 6'2", 6'1". We allowed them to kind of just press and get their hands on guys. So Gianni right here at the bottom, pressed up on the number 1 receiver. He takes an inside release, tries to come back on the post out, I would say, post out, or if you want to call it the 3 route. And initially, let's go back to the top. Initially, he gives out the inside release, which we want to always protect the inside in man coverage, especially being in I think that we're in cover 1 right here. Yeah, we're in cover one. You want to protect the inside, but he does a good job on staying on that top shoulder, squeezing that top shoulder. So the receiver has to fight back to come through his body if he wants to get outside, and Gianni beats him to the spot. Should have been a pick, and this is early in the game. Would have been our seventh turnover throughout the game, but should have been a pick. But he beats him to the spot, gets a PBU. We get the fourth down. They punt it away and give us the ball back. As you see, beats him to the spot, stays on that top shoulder. He tries to get back outside, and he beats him to the spot. And then this is a rep from Brandon, kind of same thing. In press coverage, I think I can't remember if we're in man or not, but looks like what, third and four. Third and four. I can't remember the coverage, but he's backside, so he's always most of the time going to be locked up on the number one. Going to be locked up on number one. Backside of a 3x1 or whatever the formation is. It looks like a 3x1. I kind of cut it out a little bit, but just goes to show why he's the number one corner, number one athlete in the nation. He's pressed up top against the number one receiver. Play for me, come on. There we go. And he just takes him out of bounds to the Gatorade. All right, let's watch it again. It's pressed up, takes him out of bounds, throws him into the coaches. Right? That's what you, with him being 6'3", freaking the longest arms I've ever seen, he should be able to do that every play. There's a reason why every college in the nation was after him. And like I said, yeah, 6'3", man, could run 10-1 in 100, 10 flat in 100, speed, long arms. We just tell him, hey, man, just go up there and do your thing, right? Put your hands on guys, take them out of bounds. There's no – he has the makeup speed. If anybody happens to get past him, he'd be able to catch them down. But if I'm a college coach, I just want this guy in press all day, right? He has the perfect build for a press corner, right? So, he should be doing that every single play, and I've been on him like, hey, just take him out of bounds every single play. Like, nobody should get off the line on you. Let me see. Boom, boom. This is a play late in the game. I believe we're tied up at this point, 21-21. What is it? Put the full screen. Can't tell. Third down, second down. Anyways, we come out of man coverage, our specialty. They come out in 3x1. They had kind of given us this look a good amount of times during the game. I believe they ran a couple screens. They ran a couple, post out, a couple flood routes. So they try to hit us with a screen and go right here. Our corner Brandon and Malachi starts press, backs off a little bit. We always preach when you want to be on different levels, so we're not getting bumped in each other in our man coverage, especially with pick routes and all that stuff. So you can see Delonte, who's our safety inside, another junior with probably 20 plus 30 offers. He's off further inside. Malachi backs off. Brandon's pressed up. Brandon takes his guy, kind of smothers him down. Malachi's guy runs the screen. He drives on the screen. Delonte's guy runs the screen and go, acting like he's gonna block. Goes up. Malachi for a second holds him up, thinking he should take him. Falls off, but I mean it does a good job because he holds the window a little bit for Delonte. Delonte reads it, runs over the top, looking at the quarterback throw the ball. And Malachi gets his guy after, and then bow, easy pick for Delonte. This ended up being a game-deciding turnover. As I mentioned, it's 21-21, 8 minutes left, and then our offense goes on about a 6-minute drive, running the ball all the way down the field and punches it in, and we take the lead. Let's just show that one more time. It's not gonna play for me. But yeah, just three little plays that from week one, our first victory of the season, 28-27 against San Marcos. Um, Defense played really well, 6 turnovers. Offense did enough to get us a dub, put up 28 points. Jeremiah Loper, first career start for us. He's a junior, lefty quarterback, first career start. He had 3 touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing. The rushing touchdown ended up being the game winner. Read option where he kept it after we ran the ball down the field the whole way. I think probably like a 12 play, 6-minute drive, all runs. I think 1 incompletion. And yeah, as I mentioned, defense 6 turnovers, 3 INTs, and that was a couple of our plays that stood out to me, secondary wise, and just being able to help the offense out on offense. What I see for that first touchdown. So